So in this little video we're going to look at style sheets and how you can use those to change the way your web page looks. So here I've got a basic little web page. You'll notice something a little bit about it though. First of all, we've got a light blue background. These fonts, these aren't the standard fonts. Normally you get a thing called a Times New Roman font. This is an Arial font, and also the page, you'll notice, is centered and it's not full width. So how do we do that? Well, the way we can do that, let's look at the code. You can look at code in your web browser by going right click and then looking down here and saying view page source. Press Ctrl U if you want to get there quickly. And then down here we have the text. And if you look at the body of the page site down here, there's nothing special. It's just fairly standard fonts. I've got an unordered list here. I've got a heading there, and so on. So at the top here in the head section, I've got this line here that says link equals text CSS. And this is a link to the style sheet. It's a CSS sheet. It's a style sheet, and over here we have the href, which points at the file name. So if we click on this, we can actually look at the code in the style sheet, and what will happen is when this page loads, it will use the styles in this style sheet to adjust the way, for example, h1 looks, to adjust the way that all this body text looks, and to adjust the way that the paragraph text looks. But we'll look at that right now, and you can do that simply by clicking on the link in the code here. And the style sheet loads, and here it is. You can see nothing really, it's not really complicated. At the top here we have a comment. Comments are denoted by /star to start the comment and / to end a comment. This is a fairly standard method that's used in programming languages. We then have a definition, a style definition for the body tag. So most of the text all of the text in the body part of the page is going to be formatted like this. It's got a background color of CCFFFF. Now this is a hexadecimal number, and I'll explain how those work in a minute, but that's the color we're going to use for the moment. That means light blue. It has no margins. It has a width of 900 pixels, and it uses this font set. Now the way these things work is, first of all, we specify the font size. So this is 12 pixel or 222 pixel font, so we're going to use 12 by default. We're then going to use the Helvetica font set if we can find it. If we can't find Helvetica, we're going to use Arial, and if we can't find that, we'll simply go to the fonts folder, pick up the first sans serif font we find, and we'll use that. So the idea of this means if your machine doesn't have a font installed, it can still display the page. Now, I can tell you right now, my machine does not have the Helvetica font installed on it. So what that means is my page is going to display in Arial. Down here we have the definition for H1. You notice it says H1 curly bracket. We then have the definition, and then there's a curly bracket to close the definition for the heading style 1. And we've said the font is to be a size 28 pixels, and it uses color code 003366, which is the blue color. And then down here we've specified for the P section, we just specified we want a Helvetica size 12 font ideally, and if not, Arial or some sans serif. So that styles the page. Now what happens if we remove these styles? Well, we can see that very easily. If we go to the folder that's got all our website code in it, which is right here, you'll notice down here we've got the style sheet. If I open this in Notepad++, we can see it right there. There it is. And you notice Notepad++, because it's saved with a file extension of .css, it knows it's a style sheet, so it color codes the text. So keywords are in blue, parameters are in black. Now if I go back to my folder, what I do is I rename this file. What that's going to mean is when the browser opens the website,